Hey everybody, thanks for checking out today's video. I'm really sorry there was a little bit of a lag in time from my last video, but I was feeling a little bit under the weather. So today I got out of bed and we're gonna definitely, hopefully, learn some stuff today. And we're gonna talk about the dragons that you can have on your offensive teams or your defense, depending upon whether it's arena. And we're gonna go through each one, what they do, and then how I personally use them. So let's get started. All right, so before we get into all of this, hopefully I'm going to be making an update video whenever or hopefully when they roll out some changes to the way the dragons work as far as being able to level them up, what their special skills are, and there's been talks of that being in the works. We just haven't seen it come through yet. So when and if that does happen, I will make a reprise video and we'll talk a little bit more about the changes with that. The second thing is I couldn't find any exact information, but from the test that I've done, it takes 50 gems to charge the mana for the dragon, and that's all dragon. And I couldn't find any difference when I was doing my testing on whether or not it was color specific gems or not. So from what I did, it seems like 50 gems, no matter what color, will charge the mana of your dragon. Now, if anybody knows for sure, please comment. I would love to know for sure. That's just what I was able to find when I was testing it out myself so that I could provide that information. So we're going to go through each dragon and we're going to talk about the special skills of that dragon and then how I personally like to use it. This isn't going to be like you have to use your dragon in this kind of way. This is just my personal opinion on how I find the most benefit from these dragons. Excuse me. So the first one is going to be the Vermin, the red dragon. Now this one deals 200 damage to all enemies, and then it applies burn for 2 turns and decreased resistance for 2 turns. So with that, the way that I personally like to use it is I use this against raid bosses, specifically the yellow dragon or the yellow raid boss and the green raid boss. Now, with the green, I like it because it applies negative statuses that actually land on it. And then with the yellow dragon, I like their decreased resistance so that I can try to apply defense down onto it. That's just how I personally use that one. The next one is Nagash, I believe is how you would pronounce it, and that's the green one. This is a healing dragon, so I like this one quite a bit. I use it often. It deals 15% health to all allies, and then you get recovery for 2 turns. Sorry. Now, with that, my favorite use for this particular dragon is I use it while I'm in the campaign. I typically, whenever I'm farming in campaign, I don't bring a healer. I have like a farming hero, and then I'm leveling up other heroes either to use as cauldrons or a hero that I'm actually going to keep in my roster. So I like to bring this dragon specifically just to kind of keep my hero's health high, since I don't bring in a healer. And that's sort of how I think about it with this particular dragon, is if I'm using a team that doesn't have a healer, I will try to bring in this dragon. I don't typically use it when I do any raid boss hits. I like to kind of apply more of a negative status to the raid boss. So the next one is going to be the Skyren. It's the blue dragon. This one also deals 200 damage to all, and then it does decreased speed for 2 turns, and then it has a chance to apply freeze to your opponents. I don't ever use this one on raid bosses because it just seems like the best part of it is the freeze, and all of the raid bosses are immune to freeze. So I just don't use it when it comes to a raid boss. I'm sure somebody likes it for the decreased speed. That's never a bad option to have, because if their speed is down and your speed is up. It really works nicely that way. I do, however, sometimes use this in arena. Um, I definitely like it for the decreased speed and the chance to freeze. It's like if Alias were a dragon. That's how I like to think about it. So I do use this one sometimes in the arena. The next one is the yellow Bastet, and it deals 200 damage to all, and then it applies color blindness and decreased accuracy for 3 turns. So I like to bring this one in when I am facing the blue raid boss, specifically to have less accuracy for the special skills to land, and then that decreased speed, or I'm sorry, the color blindness I like because I typically will take in someone like Aurora so that way I have that attack up and the like extra health. So color blindness really helps me because then the dragon is like, I don't know what colors are. I don't know. I'm just making that up. I'm sure that the dragon sounds much more epic than that. The next one is the Heron. Heron, however you pronounce it. It's the purple. That one deals 200 damage to all as well. It applies heal block for 3 turns and mana choke for 3 turns. So this is probably my personal favorite for arena. I use this a lot. If you can get it to land, and it does land, especially when I'm going up against an opponent where I see that they have the yellow or the green dragon, or they have a healer on their team, I like to bring this one in to hope that it lands so that the healing is just completely pointless. So they each have kind of different uses. I do like using the Skyrun and the Heron on different like rift levels, especially the color specific rifts when you look at the special skills that the boss has, and different ways to where you can kind of use the dragon to your advantage. I do change my dragon a lot when I'm in the arena specifically, and I do it to be more specific to either how I want to handle offense or what the opponent, or what I can counter as far as the opponent goes. But my favorite is the purple. I use it all the time, or the green when I'm farming. So I know this had all been requested. I hope that it brought a little bit of information and helped some people out just to kind of figure out what to do, because some people will just kind of load in a dragon and then just forget about it. So you can definitely use those dragons to your advantage. It's just important to understand what each one does. For instance, the Skyrun, the blue dragon that can apply freeze, that isn't going to stick on a raid boss. So just kind of understanding what each of those dragons do and how they can benefit your team for a specific situation. So and then like I said, what I'm saying on how I personally use them isn't the end all be all of what you can do with your dragons. There are some really strong players out there that I'm sure would have excellent advice. I would love to have any comments, feedback, anything as far as like if somebody uses a specific dragon for a certain reason. It's a really good conversation to have, and I would love to learn more about it, honestly. So anyway, I hope that you all have a really fantastic day, and we'll catch you later.